Hello there, yoga fans. We're going to be doing some yoga, and you will need a book, just a normal book. I'm going to start lying down. So obviously, if you need to pause the video to get your book. Now, the reason we've got a book is so that we're just putting a little bit of weight around the tummy. So we've got quite a light book, that's fine. And just dropping back into Shavasana, so making sure a little bit of space between the heels and turning the palms of the hands up, just a little bit away from the body. I'm just going to breathe normally here, closing the eyes if that's comfortable. And just notice what it feels like to arrive on your mat. Good, and then just bringing awareness into the sensations in the chest and tummy when you breathe in. Again, we're still not changing anything. We're just noticing where we can feel the main rising and falling when we breathe in and out. Good. Now I've noticed that I'm breathing quite high up into my chest. So the reason we've got the book is to just acknowledge that space because we're going to breathe into that space. Just have a go, see what that feels like. So as we breathe in, that area is just going to gently expand. And as we breathe out, it's going to gently contract again. Now try not to force it. So don't worry if you're still feeling breath coming quite up into the chest. Just aiming for a deeper, more diaphragm breath. And just keep that rhythm going. But then just bring some awareness to the shoulders. Allow the shoulders to really feel heavy, trying to get rid of any tension. Sometimes we'll hold it in our jaw as well. So getting rid of a clenching. You might just have to remind yourself to come back to that belly breath. Belly breathing is really good for soothing the nervous system. It's letting your body know that it's safe to relax because we've changed how we're breathing. Taking deeper breaths, maybe slower breaths. So if you imagine when you're anxious, you're scared, your breath's going to be quite shallow, quite high, maybe quite fast. And when you just change that breath, completely switches over what is happening in the body, and the body goes, oh, okay, it's safe. I can start to relax, going back into the parasympathetic nervous system, into rest and digest. I have a few more of these. And the health benefits of just slowing down the breath, even to 5 minutes per day, are just incredible. Lowers your blood pressure, helps you sleep better, can help with anxiety, depression. There's lots of other things as well. It helps reduce stress, even inflammation, actually, in the body. Good. Now we're just going to move our book off, place it somewhere else. And let's bend the knees, come into recovery. So the feet are a little bit wider, knees are dropping in. Maybe take the feet to the edges of the mat so that you can feel that sensation of the mat kind of disappearing underneath your feet. Notice how your body feels now that we've just slightly changed it. Now that breath might have come back into the chest. We're going to see if we can focus on deep belly breathing for the whole of our practice today. So a reminder to breathe back into the belly when we shift position. And again, you might need to check in with your shoulders, your jaw, something that I have to do. I hold tension in my jaw. It's almost like my default position. So I have to keep reminding myself that it's okay to release. Now we're going to keep the feet exactly where they are. We're going to take the knees a little bit wide and then we're just going to drop the knees over to the right, keeping the head down and the arms down by the side. So just allowing a little bit of an openness to come into this right hip, and we're closing this left hip down. There's definitely going to be some floating underneath the legs. That's part of it. So I've come onto the outside edge of my right foot and the inside edge of my left foot. And just allowing the legs just to be, and just noticing what it's done to the rest of my body, particularly behind the left side. So it's definitely picked up my left glutes, picked up part of my lower back around the left, a little bit of lifting up around the left ribs. And it's just being aware of all these kind of subtleties that are happening, even when we just kind of shift our body slightly. I've got a bit of a pulling sensation in this right leg. This left leg feels quite comfortable. That's okay. What we can do is take it deeper. So this right foot, we can pick it up and just drop it onto that left knee. That's going to take a deeper stretch now into this left hip. Still probably getting a bit of a sensation in this right hip. It's definitely lifted quite a lot more off my back. Maybe that half. I feel like there's a bit of a center line split at the back body. Maybe it's not as comfortable to kind of hold and just soften into. Maybe it feels like you have to hold on to. See if you can just relax here. There's going to be maybe some pulling in the back. Pulling's okay. We don't want any pinching, weird sensations or pain come out of it if you feel anything. And we obviously have to be really careful with our lower back. But these kind of exercises when your back is feeling healthy are really good for its health. Good. And then very slowly coming up. So there is quite a big stretch through that lower back. You're probably going to feel it as you release. So what's quite nice here is just windscreen wipe the knees over to one side and then the other. And just release that sensation. So it's almost like we've really pulled, and it takes a good few breaths for everything to come back to normal. Good. And then dropping over to the other side. So just making sure that the feet stay wide, knees are wide as well, and then we can drop over. And we have to do a little bit of shifting to my right. But first of all, we're going for the easy version, and of course you can stay here. Just take that breath deep into the belly. Just a reminder. And as I'm just holding here, I can notice a sensation in my right leg, just gently increasing that sensation, just turning up just a little bit. So I'm choosing now, do I want to go a little bit deeper? Yes, let's put that foot up, drop it onto that right leg, and just notice the changes. And if you don't like doing something, just come out of it. You can go into the more gentler one or come out of it completely back into recovery. Knowing that you can always rest at any time, it's really important. This is why I like to melt into poses so it's not too brutal, not too harsh. And we come to a very gentle, natural stopping point, so it's not putting too much stress on the body. We then hold, stay there. That's where the work is, using our breath to just help us get a little bit deeper into it if that's what feels right. Good, well done. And slowly coming back into recovery, and then windscreen wiping our knees gently over to one side and then the other. Definitely can feel it in my lower back today. So always nice to pull the knees in, take it nice and gently. I always do one at a time, making sure it feels safe before I do the other one, and gently rocking from side to side. So let's just draw some circles with the knees. So just loosening the grip with the hands, keeping the head down. Doesn't matter which direction you're going in, but start to notice your range of movement. So there might be a point where your knees are coming away and you might just have to lift up your head just a little bit. You can keep your head down. That might restrict the width of your circle. So your choice, just exploring what it feels like. And then change direction, nice and slow. So probably one more rotation. I'm going to bring the knees back in again. And this time I'm going to pick the head up. So bringing their face towards the knees. And if you want to go deeper, wrapping the arms around the shins. Good. So we're going to get into half happy baby with the right leg. It's going to be the bent knee. So dropping the left sole of the foot down, lifting up that foot, grabbing wherever's comfortable so we can hold on to it. Even the ankle is fine. Some people like to do the inside of the foot. I like to do the outside. So we're pulling that right knee in. So a bit of work for the right arm. And you can keep that left leg bent. You can straighten it out. That's going to really quite intensify it, particularly on the left hip flexors. Or you might just want to see what it feels like to open through the hip. So allow that knee to kind of open up. So we're still doing all the work in the right hip. We're just doing something maybe slightly different. You don't have to with the left hip. So this is one where there's definitely for me a rounding through the shoulders and maybe a little bit of tenseness coming back into the neck. And just relax the shoulders here. You might need to pull a little bit deeper, pulling the leg in. Remembering that belly breath. See what that feels like. And then because we've been holding with this compression in the right hip, it always feels super nice to release it. And the arm as well. Just release that leg. Maybe stretch it out. Just see what that feels like. Just to stretch into that compression. Give that right leg a little bit of a shake. We're going to rebend it and we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So half happy baby on this side. Get yourself in position, pull that knee in, and then just think about what you want to do with this right leg. Allowing the hip to open, keep the knee straight, or maybe stretching out that right leg. I feel super, super tough actually on my hip flexor on that right side, just because we've done that compression. Good, and then very slowly releasing. We're going to go for a straight leg, nice and slow. Give that leg a little bit of a shake and just notice how your hip flexors feel. And we're going to take the arms above and we're going to go in for a big, big stretch. To allow this to be whatever kind of stretch you want it to be, whether it's a really straight pencil stretch or maybe taking it a little bit more into a star. You can have a move around with your feet and your ankles. And then we're going to take it into banana asana. So the right foot needs to come off the mat, left foot comes over, grabbing hold of the left wrist and just getting into kind of a curve shape. And just allow your neck and head to be nice and loose. It doesn't matter where you hold your gaze or you close your eyes. What matters is this long sensation coming all the way down this left side. Can cross your right leg over, intensifies it slightly. And see if you can relax here. Take that breath deep into the belly. And let's swap over, nice and gentle. So just pulling back with the arms, taking the left leg over, taking the right leg. We'll not cross the legs just yet. We're going to grab hold of the wrist, the right wrist, and just ease into it. And then if you feel comfortable, you can cross the right ankle over. Breathe into this and relax as well. So maybe softness comes into the elbows. Now, this is where you can feel this the most in the right side of the body. And then bring the arms back and bring the legs back, bring the arms back down. I'm just going to get into a supported waterfall. The hands are going to come underneath us. So tucking the shoulders underneath. And we're just going to lift the legs up. Bring the feet back just a little bit. Legs are straight if you can. Might need to just do a little bit of jiggling with the hands. This is really good for draining some of the lymph nodes, I think. Do you have lymph nodes in your legs? I'm not sure. I can definitely feel something. Feels like, obviously it's gravity, isn't it? Give your toes a little bit of a wiggle if that would help. And then bringing the legs down. Well done. Removing the arms to give your arms a little bit of shake. And then we're going to turn over to the right side and get ourselves into tabletop. Bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. And let's move through cow and cat. So dropping the belly down, taking the gaze up. And then rounding through the spine, bringing that chin in, tucking the tailbone under, getting that nice rounding sensation, just moving through those two. So normally we do an inhale to come into cow and an exhale to come into cat. Let's swap it over. So it's an exhale to drop the belly down, come into cow, and an inhale to come into cat. Drop the belly down, take the gaze up, and pulling in. On that inhale, it's like pulling all the energy in towards. See if you can really tighten your core as you do that. Exhale. Inhale. Good, well done. Let's do one more. Nice and slow on that exhale. Making this this cat pose quite powerful and active. Fabulous, well done. Just come back to a neutral spine. Just curl the toes under, stretching out through the soles of the feet. Going to keep the hands down. So this is a soft, gentle toe squat. Giving a little bit of a relief through the wrist as well. Let's come back. Going to extend the left leg, keeping the toes down, pushing into the heel. And then we're going to take that foot behind the right foot, keeping the leg straight, and then off the mat at the right. And just try and stay nice and balanced in between the hands here. You're going to definitely feel some sensations. And then to make this a little bit more of a challenge, we're going to see if we can gaze over the right shoulder to that right foot. And slowly coming back. Well done. Bringing that left leg back and then the knee down. Extending the right leg, pushing the heel away. And then just dropping the gaze down so that we can just check what we're doing. Take it behind the left foot first and then take the left foot off. So pausing just for a moment. Let's take that breath deep. And then maybe take the gaze over towards that left foot. Good, coming back to tabletop. And let's get into our first downward facing dog. Taking it really slowly. So we're going to curl the toes under. Make sure the feet are really pushing back and very slowly lift the knees. Very slowly, slowest that you can do it. Keep the knees bent, push the hips back, push into the mat, lengthen through the spine. So feel that. And then reset the feet, keep the heels up. And pedal out the legs nice and slowly. Good, and then just pausing here. Pushing the hips back. Yes, well done. Now keeping the feet where they are, just walking the hands back into a forward fold, into a ragdoll if you want to. Just noticing how your lower back feels. Good. A couple more breaths here. And see if you can breathe into your belly here. Obviously, it's going to feel more into a bit higher, maybe into the back. Maybe it comes into the back more. And then keeping the feet where they are, we're going to walk the hands forward and come all the way into a plank. So hands underneath the shoulders. Bring the feet together. Nice, strong plank. Dropping the knees down at any time. So try and get a nice long line of energy from the crown of the head down through the body, through the heels. Good. Now we're going to drop the knees down. Keep the toes curled under. And slowly bring the chest and the chin down. So we're into that 5-pointer style. So our bum is pushed up towards the ceiling. Got a bit of a back bend coming in. Maybe you can feel that compression in the lower back. Extending through the front of the neck. Elbows are up, like grasshopper legs. And then on the next breath in, slowly slithering forward, keeping the hands there. And on the next, we need to exhale, obviously. On the next inhale, just gently lifting up without pushing into the hands, into our baby cobra. To make sure that the neck is nice and loose. And then just dropping the chin down. Maybe you're resting on one ear, your choice. Couple of breaths here. So some versions of baby cobra. So at the moment, the hands are just underneath the shoulders, coming into the ribs. So we're just going to take the hands a little bit wider off the mat and tented fingers. So elbows are coming up again. And we're allowing ourselves to push into the fingers this time. So we're going to come up a little bit higher, taking the chest forward. Definitely compressing all the vertebrae in the lower back. Breathing into the belly here. Good. One more breath. Let's have a breath in and then very, very slowly coming down. Well done. That definitely deserves a rest. Let's take the arms long, drop onto one ear and just allow the body to really relax here. Good. Now coming into a fuller version of locust. So head, chest, hands, feet. So try and bring your feet a little bit more closer together. If you want to work deeper, you're taking your hands up, maybe bringing the thumbs together, lifting up the chest a little bit more, bringing the shoulder blades together, maybe taking the legs up. And one more breath in and just releasing down and just relaxing on the other ear. Good. Now we're going to bring the hands back underneath near the shoulders and very slowly push up into tabletop. And then just coming into a counterbalance into a wide knee child's pose. So gently pushing back. And feeling that stretch in the lower back. Give yourself a little bit of moving from side to side. And we're just going to get ourselves into a seated position with the legs wide, just so that we can feel a bit of a stretch in the groin. Bring the hands to the legs, and we're just going to sit up as tall as possible here, allowing the feet to be nice and relaxed. So try and keep the spine nice and straight. We're just going to tip forward on the seat bones. They've just got a little bit of a wiggle, and just bringing the hands forward. Trying to keep the spine straight. So it's a deeper stretch. Probably really feel it deep into the inner kind of groin. Good. Maybe take fingertips a little bit further. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, and then we're going to round through the spine and allow the elbows to come down, if that's available, and just dropping the chin down. Allow the head to be super, super heavy. And then very slowly pushing into the hands, excuse me, and allowing the vertebra to stack very, very slowly back up. I'm going to go in for a side stretch. Right hand comes down. Let's take the left arm up and just allow that weight of the arm to take a deeper side stretch. I've already done quite a few of these already. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper. Maybe you need to bring the forearm to the inside of the leg. Just allow that softness to come in and just explore how far you can take it. Try not to drop the left shoulder down. I'm in fact pushing into the knee with my right elbow. Good, very slowly coming up. Same thing on the other side. So sliding the fingers down. Take the right arm up. And just find your natural stopping point here. And slowly coming up. Well done. And just holding here. Let's take a couple of big deep breaths into our tummy. And then being gentle, lifting up the knees, taking the feet in, get ourselves into our last pose here. So bringing the soles of the feet together, getting into cobbler. So we're going to go in for a rounding through the spine, quite a passive one. Just bring the arms underneath, dropping the head down. And then slowly rounding up. And let's just bring our knees gently up. Just give them a, bringing the hands behind us. Let's windscreen wipe our knees from side to side. So that is the end of our practice. Absolutely get yourself into Shavasana. It is an essential part of practice. I'm going to just give you whatever time you've got to do your Shavasana. So switch off the video, get yourself comfortable, maybe get a blanket and a pillow and set a little bit of a timer and just relax. It's really important. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. Take it easy. See you later.